It's a great time to bleed City Blue. Let me tell you why. NYCFC has named interim head coach Nick Cushing as its official head guy, and the team captain, Sean Johnson, that is, well, he's headed to the World Cup in Qatar after being selected to the U.S. men's national team. So let's bring in a man who knows a thing or two about soccer and NYCFC. He's a Spanish play-by-play announcer for the club, Roberto Abramowitz. Now, Roberto, let's start with the coaching news. Nick Cushing. He started off his interim head coaching with some adversity, but he coached NYCFC to the Eastern Conference Final. What are some of the things he did during that time to where the front office was like, hey, we got to sign this dude to an official contract?
You know, he stayed steady throughout all the ups and downs that the team had. And the ups and downs weren't because he wasn't coaching the team properly. It was the fact that the team had a lot of injuries, key players. You were missing the center of your defense. You were missing your holding midfielders. And so, you know, the team just wasn't playing as well as it could because, you know, as much depth as New York City has, you still, when you start missing players like Alex Collins, Maxime Chanot, Thiago Martins, and then you have Alfredo Morales out for a while, you have Maxi Morales out for a while, Keaton Parks out for a long while, and then, you know, there's more and more. You can't expect the team to be playing at an optimum capacity, especially when you're playing, in a lot of cases, you know, 2 games a week. You're playing Wednesdays, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, that sort of thing. And so it starts to hurt on you. And he did a really good job managing the team, understanding the strengths and weaknesses. Let's not forget that the team sold their best player, or loaned actually their best player and leading scorer in Tati Castellanos when they loaned him to Girona. And he is over there. So he took his 13 goals with him at that time. And then New York City had to find a way to be able to generate offense and replace him because ever one-on-one just wasn't the same type of player. And so we changed the formation. He went to a 3-4-3. It worked out very, very well for him. And once everybody was healthy, you saw the great run that they went on, starting with a victory over Atlas in Campeones Cup. Atlas was a 2-time Mexican champion, beat them 3-0 soundly at Yankee Stadium, and then didn't lose again until they lost to Philadelphia. The team played very, very well. Injuries wound up hurting them, and if it wasn't for injuries, there's a really good chance they would have been in MLS Cup again.
Yeah, he definitely did a great job galvanizing the team and creating a culture and an identity. But let's talk about the World Cup. It's here. It's finally here. Goalie and team captain Sean Johnson was selected to the 26-player roster for the men's team. It's not surprising for those who follow NYCFC, but to the soccer fans out there, the American fans, talk about what Johnson is going to bring to this U.S. squad.
Now, Johnson brings the fact that he is an excellent goalkeeper, first and foremost. Second of all, he's a very, very bright man. That's 2. And that also, he's a great leader. So that's why he's team captain in New York City. And so even if he doesn't play in the World Cup, because we all expect Matt Turner to be the starting goalkeeper, and I think that they wanted to make it clear that Matt Turner was a starting goalkeeper, and that's why they didn't bring in Zach Steffen, who's playing at Middlesbrough. So it's a matter of Sean Johnson being there. If Matt Turner isn't 100% healthy, I think he steps in and starts. He has the full confidence of Greg Berhalter, who just spoke volumes of him yesterday during the press conference in Brooklyn. And I think it's a positive move for the U.S. national team. If he doesn't play, he's going to be a great leader on the bench, helping the team in the dressing room as well.
10 appearances for the U.S. men's national teams, 5 clean sheets. Definitely a depth guy. But let's talk about some other players. Giovanni Reyna and Joe Scally were part of NYCFC's academy some of the years back, and they also were selected. So between Sean Johnson and these 2 guys getting selected to go play and represent this country, what does that say about the organization and the state of the organization?
Well, it says a lot, and I think that the teams that are smart in this league have a combination of being able to have a very strong academy where they can build players and then use them and then sell them on because it's part of the business. You know, this isn't a top 5 league in the world where basically teams are just looking to buy. And so you have players that are playing and contributing, and then at the same time, you're also buying. You're buying players that are going to be able to complement them, and that makes you able to compete at a high level. I think New York City has done a great job with that. I think it's probably one of the better examples in the league of, you know, how to combine your academy, because now you have players who have played in your academy like Tavon Gray, Andres Jason, to name a few, to name a couple of them, who have come up and played well. Joe Scally got a chance to play for NYC before going over to Borussia Mönchengladbach in the German First Division. And then Giovanni Reyna was able to leave before he got a chance to play for New York City and went to play for Borussia Dortmund. So it behooves teams in this league to have very, very strong academies and then complement that with being able to buy the right type of player to be successful and try to win championships.
I love the way you break these things down. You're our insider. You're our inside source. I'd be remiss if I didn't try and get you to tease a little something while you're here. Is there anything you can tell us about a possible announcement that could go down in Queens about a new stadium?
Look, I have no firsthand knowledge, okay? I just want to make this clear. I have no firsthand knowledge. Trying to get information out of New York City on these sort of things is next to impossible. I think we can water torture the team, or the team, general manager and president and all that, and they're not going to talk. But having said that, we know that the situation in the Bronx didn't work out for whatever reason. And now, they focused on Queens, and it's a smart thing to do. They should have been focused on Queens from day one, obviously being associated with the Yankees, and the Yankees wanted to do something in the Bronx. But the best place to put this stadium is literally right next to Citi Field or across the street from Citi Field, however you want to look at it. The borough of Queens is basically the United Nations on its own. 134 different languages are spoken, and most of those languages also speak soccer, and especially the Hispanic population that is in and around and near the stadium, between Corona, Queens, Flushing, Queens, Jackson Heights. That is a hotbed of soccer. All you have to do is go and walk around Roosevelt Avenue, and you will bump into a soccer store. Every three stores there's a different soccer store. And when I went there, what was it, last year, at one of the points, and I went with Sam Cooke, who's the head of communications of New York City, and we took a walk around that area. He was really taken aback about not only the fact of how much soccer was there, right, and especially between the restaurants, everybody featuring soccer, all the soccer stores, but the fact that every time we went in and we tried to say, hey, where are your New York City jerseys? And they said, oh, well, we sold them out. And it was just like right after New York City had played Pumas of Mexico. And so fans had flocked there to buy all the shirts that they could before going to the stadium. And I think that's a fantastic omen. And I think that if the team really, really concentrates a good part of its budget to market the team, especially in that area, especially to Hispanics, it's going to pay off in spades. So let's hope that the stadium can be built right there. And if it is, I think it's going to be a fantastic thing for the team. It couldn't be built in a better place in New York.
Fingers crossed. Roberto, we love it when you join on and speak soccer with us. Thanks for taking the time out of your day.
My pleasure. Take care.